Hey folks, welcome back. Vegan Cookies Good doing a post review of the Predator 350 watt power station. This unit I've had for a little under a year now, and it's time to talk a little bit about it. And for those that aren't too familiar, the Predator line comes out of a big box store known as Harbor Freight that comes in a different series of power stations from the 350, 600, 1200, and 2000 watt range. And today we're just going to be talking about this particular model, the 350 entry level. Here we have a number of settings, from 12 volt port for DC, and everything here can be DC as well, with the USB, one USB type C that is a PWD, which is nice, so you can charge either way for up to 100 watts. You have two USB A's, and they're both about 15 watts max. The station itself also comes with regular cords, so that if you have something with a low draw energy to plug in, you could certainly do that. But what exactly is it going to power? I'm hoping that we can test that. To turn it on, you simply press the button. And if you want to turn on the inverter, here we have the AC. And to turn on the AC, we hit the AC power button, and that will show you the display of power that's remaining. Here we have about 92%. There's nothing plugged in, so there's no wattage going out, with a runtime on standby of nearly 30 hours. But before we get into what it can power, maybe we could talk about how we can power the machine, which I think is a jewel for this machine itself, in which case you can power in a number of different ways via a regular wall outlet that you can plug into the back. Here I can show you right here. Or we can even use a car cigarette lighter, which has the adapter, the same type that you'd use for most common solar panels, and they would be put into the input there. Of course, you can use a solar panel charging cable if you have solar panels attached to it. Again, it would be the same housing right there. Or what I find pretty fascinating is you can charge it via Type C, and that's only because it's part of that PW, or the power source. So what you could do theoretically is, if you had a laptop or even a power bank battery from a power tool, is you could plug this in and give it a second to read. For many users, they may just want to charge their phone. In this case, here's an iPhone 12. Let's give that a try by plugging in to the USB first, and then pressing the USB button. And it is charging. And if you look closely, you'll see the wattage that's coming out of the USB-A. It's a very slow charge, but seems like it'll get the job done. Maybe you already have another portable power device, in this case a 225 watt power source that is connected to a USB for faster charging. Let's give that a try. Again, pressing it in to the USB-C this time, and pressing the USB button. And it is indeed charging. The USB-C obviously charges a lot faster at nearly 18 watts. Maybe you're trying to listen to music while you're stuck on the side of the road. In this case, we'll try the JBL Charge 6. Again, pressing it into the USB-C, hitting the power source button, and we are indeed charging. The JBL charges at a little over 20 watts, fast charge. Of course, the USB-A functions and 12 volt functions are not the only thing that this power source can do, but it can charge via a wall outlet. But at what capacity? We can do some tests by seeing if we can charge up a red lithium Milwaukee battery. In this case, it'll be the 6.0. It's not fully depleted, but it should be good enough for the test. Here we'll put the battery on first, and then we'll hit the AC button. It's thinking. It appears to be charging. There we go. The wattage should reach over 100 watts. This is not the fast charger, so it should level out at about 140 watts. In this case, it's showing 130 watts. And the battery is indeed charging. So, if you're in a hard place and you just need to charge a battery to finish a job site, perhaps this Predator could save the day by charging your batteries a couple of times. And though it's certainly not recommended, we do like to test these products within reasonable limits. In this case, we have a MyBuddy Mr. Heat, and if we look here, the max wattage is showing 200 watts. So let's give that a try through the 120 wall outlet and see if it'll run. And we have it plugged in, the AC is on. Let's hit the button. Let's see what happens. Here we got pretty close. It peaked at over 300 watts, but now it seems to be settling back down. And as that drops, the MyBuddy heater is indeed working pretty hot, just as it should be. And it'll level out right at about 180 watts. Now, theoretically, it could run this continuously, this heater, for a little over an hour. So maybe not very practical, but if you do need to heat something up or just warm your hands up, this could be a solution for you. Now that we have a lot of our batteries being topped off, let's take a little deeper look into how we can charge the device. So we're giving this one more try. Has some battery. Let's just see if it'll charge it. Not sure why it's not working anymore. But before, we were able to power this using just a battery, the battery's energy going into the power station itself, but it does not seem to be working anymore. And this time we'll try to be charging the unit using a 12-volt adapter. And here's the end of the line itself. And here we won't be charging from the front anymore. We have to go to the back of the machine of the power source, and here we just line up red to red, black to black, and give it a push in. You have to use two hands. There we go. Let's turn it around and see what it's doing. So from the cigarette lighter or 12-volt adapter, oh, it's still climbing, seems to like to hover around 75 to 80 watts. If it was at 90%, it would take a little less than a half an hour to charge this machine. Now let's go ahead and give it a try, plugging it into a wall outlet. And I have the outlet plugged in via the car's outlet, which is rated for up to 600 watts. Let's give this a plug in and see what it does. It's plugged in all the way. And what might it be doing? Okay, it's thinking. Now this is supposed to be the fastest style of charging, but I'm still only seeing about 75 up to about 80 watts. So about the same as a 12-volt adapter. And though it is a 12-volt adapter, we're still going to test that USB-C, which is connected to this cigarette lighter. Let's give that a plug-in on the front side and see if it'll charge. And it is charging at nearly 20 watts. So if you didn't have a cigarette lighter, or if you had another inverter, that could power via USB, you might be able to top this Predator 350 power station off. Let's go ahead and do another test while we start charging everything that we've already reviewed previously, all at the same time. Here we'll hit the USB, which will charge the phone, and the smaller power source. It is indeed charging, and both of those together are just over 20 watts. And now for the most interesting part, we're leaving the MyHeat off currently, but let's go ahead and turn this on, and that will turn on the battery charger. Battery charger is on, and the watts are going up. We'll give this a moment just to kind of equalize out. And let's go ahead and turn on the MyHeat, which is 200 watts, but it goes down to about 180. Now we're nearly at 400 watts, but the machine is still running. Now that wattage should come down a little bit as the peak wattage on the MyHeat drops to about a little over 200 to 180. So I would say that comfortably this is about the maximum that you would want to bring the Predator before it overloads. Here it's been running almost 30 seconds now, and the Predator 350 is running just fine. All the machines are on, the battery is charging, your phone is charging, and your secondary power source is charging. Pretty cool little unit. If you had to charge everything at once, which I don't recommend, it would deplete the battery in under an hour. The Predator also has additional features, including the 12-volt cigarette lighter that runs off of DC. In this case, we have it plugged into our electric refrigerator, the Bouge RV 23 quart, I believe. Now, there's nothing in there, so there's no real thermal mass, but I do have a temperature gauge in there that we can take a peek at. Let's go ahead and turn this on and see if it'll power the electric refrigerator. So far, so good. Let's turn it on. And we'll set our temperature. In this case, just 42 degrees. And it'll blink a few times and then set. Now it's gauging this number is the current temperature that's in there. And it's running just over that 12 volts. Let's see what's going on with the Predator power source. Now understand that this fridge is already warm, there's nothing in it, so it will take a while for it to catch up. But once that compressor turns off, the wattage will drop to 0. So it's a fairly efficient machine, but we will have to give it time to see what happens. 30 watts is currently up, and if it kept up this way and never stopped, it would run for a little over 7 hours. And that's still at only 87% battery. Now you'll have to take my word for it, but it's been 25 minutes and the compressor has turned off, and we're still at 82% battery. And looking at our refrigerator, it claims that it's currently at 32 degrees. Let's go ahead and open it up and get a second opinion. I would say that's pretty accurate. The fridge is nice and cold, and this will run for days, even on this small power station, because the compressor turns on and off just to keep the refrigerator cool. And you're keeping this in the shade, and or if you're keeping the door lid itself closed, it'll stay cold. And the feature-rich Predator 350 power station just keeps going and going, as you can get other power sources from an external device, say a 12-volt cigarette lighter that's plugged into your car, and this machine has pass-through ability. So what that means is if I can plug this guy in, it might take two hands, plug this guy in, I'm now charging, yes, I'm now charging from the cigarette lighter, the in of the wattage, and then the out, which would be the power that's needed to draw from the refrigerator. But since the compressor is not running, It's not showing any wattage. So this is a great example of the pass-through ability in that you can continuously charge your device while the device is charging your other items. I hope this made it easier for you to make a decision on whether to get the Predator 350 power station. Of course, if you would like to see another video, give us a like and let us know in the comments if you'd like to see how the solar works, where you can connect solar panels